We're red.
What? That's disgusting.
That is.
I guess.
All right, yeah.
Sure,
We'll
it's
open
in
this
the
meeting of
dirt,
April 18th, 2013, and let the record show that all selectmen are present. We were first on our agenda is Dennis Allen. What have you done now?
Well, with that recycling bag thing, he changed that, so.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, one attaboy.
One attaboy.
One attaboys.
One attaboy. How many are we taking away? I think the reason why we asked you here was so that we could make a decision, because last week there was a request to take away the zero-turn lawnmower that you have at the highway garage and put up to the 132 ball field on a permanent basis.
Wow. Thought we went through this last year.
We did.
Oh,
No, that was a little.
yes, or-
That was a little different request.
Oh,
What was that request? Oh, yeah, I
We
remember.
were
now
gonna.
it's on a permanent,
They were gonna mow it.
permanent basis.
No, that last year's request was that the town garage mow the field.
Okay, well, I'll explain to people what we do with it, okay? And then you can go from there. We use it at the highway garage. It is the only machine that we have that has a bagging system on it, okay? We use it at the island to mow and pick up leaves. It is too big to do the cemeteries, which we knew that, okay? That's what we use it for.
How big is your ride-on mower?
What's that?
How big is your ride-on mower other than the zero turn?
It's 38,
The 38.
that size. Yeah,
That's a little one. That's the same one you have at the graveyards that you go up and down?
correct, yes.
Is that,
Bigger attachment could be purchased for that, correct?
To be purchased, I would say you're looking at probably $1,500. Estimate.
How much is a zero-turn mower?
How much is a new zero-turn mower?
Yeah.
About 4 or 5, depending, you can get up to 10,000.
Exactly, yes.
How much
10
is
to
ours?
11
What is
with
ours?
the bagging system that is on ours.
What do we pay for us?
I want to say 72, 82, something like that.
Yeah.
But we've had it now for,
12 years?
no, I'm going to say it's been a good 7 to 8 years.
So we did buy it specifically for the ball field.
No, it was bought for other, but, you know, other uses too. Yeah.
What did we do before we bought that, when we did the islands? The island,
What did we do?
yeah.
We had an old Husqvarna 28-inch that had a bagging system on it. Yep. Yep.
What brand is the ride-on?
The X-Mount or the Husqvarna?
No, oh, it is?
Husqvarna.
You still have a Husqvarna?
Yep, yep.
How old is that?
We bought it 3 years old. Yep.
Parks Commission can't get, I thought they had the other one that the school gave them.
It's my understanding that they've had more than one donated lawnmower for last year's season, including my own zero-turn X-Mark. What they were using are ride-ons. They're small. It takes a very long time. Really don't have an adequate bagging system to keep the clippings off that ball field. The lawnmower,
Deck on the lawnmower.
I don't know, well, I got a zero turn, so to me it's tiny. I don't know,
Does the lawnmower that they have now run?
I think it was given back. It's in pretty rough shape.
Well, there still is one in the shed.
Yeah. I think that's the one that might be another one that was donated. The problem is they keep getting donated lawnmowers. They break down. I mean, I don't mind bringing mine down there.
Well, I guess I have a question, okay, Catherine, if this was the case last year of not having ample lawnmowers or lawnmowers that did not run, wouldn't you think that they would make some kind of, either put in their budget that they need a new lawnmower, or
Well,
they're
it's-
assuming that?
Well, the Budget Committee, it was talked at the Budget Committee, and members expressed, how do I put it? They were quizzical as to why we would be considering buying another zero-turn lawnmower when the town already owes one, just to mow the ball field. There is a provision in there for, small little commercial mower, but it really isn't adequate. It's not adequate to mow that large field with that little, and it's not even a commercial mower, it's a little, residential mower.
Are they going to be mowing more areas and cutting down on the subcontractors doing?
Subcontractor hasn't been mowing the ball field for, this will be the second or third year.
Right, but I'm saying, if they had the zero-turn lawnmower, would the person that you're going to hire in the summertime to do 18 to 24 hours a week here, would they mow Riverfront?
No.
They would not.
No, because then it would be a matter of be having them loading that onto a trailer and transporting it. No, I'd rather just, if the mower is going to be one place, I want it one place. As a selectman, I'd rather not see that mower transported by part-time summer help or volunteers. It's one thing to drive it in and out of a shed, but to put it on the back of a trailer and start carting it all over town, no.
What if there's a catastrophic problem with the driver, if he or she is injured, falls over, tractor tips over, whatever it is, who's liable?
Well, the town of Tilton, we're liable for all our employees and
These are
volunteers,
not
no matter where they are.
employees. None of those people are
Or
employees, right?
All volunteers, Joe.
No matter where they are. If I'm in Riverfront Park and I'm over there cutting shrubbery,
Do those
whatever.
people have to be named specifically, or we can just say, oh, no, they were a volunteer?
No,
I'm
they're
asking.
part of a subcommittee to maintain the ball field.
Who would do the maintenance on it?
Why
Town
don't-
garage, the
why-
town.
What's the problem with the highway doing the maintenance on the ball field? What would be the problem with that?
When I brought it up last year, it seemed to be a big issue.
I thought you volunteered last year to do the field.
No, you wanted to transfer monies out of the park commissioner's budget, which really didn't exist, to cover the cost. It's like there isn't money in there because it's done by volunteers to cover the cost.
I thought they budgeted for that field.
Volunteers, there's no hourly wage or rate put in there. The
That was the year
subcontractor,
before.
Dolph Landscaping, doesn't do the park, so there's no money budgeted.
Did they budget for gas and maintenance costs, new belts or whatever, if they need them?
No, it's volunteer.
So
So maybe
Public
they
Works
need to,
budget would pick it
maybe
up.
they need to budget next year for what would be the opposition to let me ask it this way, what would be the opposition to budget for the highway to do it next year? And then you have one set of people using the zero turn, one set of people maintaining the zero turn, and it's maintained properly, taken care of properly, and it's not volunteers in and out, and it's not housed up in a house up there so that they have to go up there to get it if they need it. So what would be the opposition to that?
Well, you're asking me, I can't tell you if there would be or not, or what it might be with the park commissioners. But the problem with last year's was, when I brought this up, problem with last year was, it didn't sound right. Last year, the issue was, it essentially was going to cost us more to have the highway mow it than it would have if we'd subcontracted Dolph to do it.
Which makes no
I
sense.
don't think that was the case.
That was the case
No,
because
it was the case, but I'm not sure that they're
Dollar's
paying their
price
people as
included
much.
a lot
or-
more than just mowing.
I don't think they have the benefit packages and all the rest of the stuff that we've got for our employees either. So I can see where $10 an hour, $12 an hour for a lawnmower guy. We don't have that person.
One department in the town should not be profiting by charging another department in the
It
town.
wasn't, I don't think it was a profit, as I recall last
No,
year.
it's just the fact that Dennis hadn't budgeted.
I'd already
to do
gone
it.
over the hourly figures
It wasn't,
before I
right.
came here, and it was much more than,
We,
yeah. But, I mean, see, we're back,
But the problem
we're back to
was-
where we are. The request is to have the lawnmower down at the ball field. Now, I've made some notes. The issue seems to be your lawnmower doesn't have a bagger. You know, maybe a bagger could be purchased with the monies that the park commissioners have to buy the little toy lawnmower for the ride-on that you have. But I can't make a decision, I'm just saying it's a possibility, it has to go to the park commissioners. But that's the request. You know, it's nice to have that volunteer base because it's coming from those who are using it, which is what they're trying to do. Unfortunately, none of the volunteers can afford to purchase a commercial lawnmower.
I'm not saying that, but generally that I've seen in other aspects, okay, when one or two persons operate the equipment, they last a lot longer. They may train them rather than volunteer.
We only have one or two people that mows.
That does not take care of the servicing, the greasing, and checking of the oil, and all of that. You know, I'm a firm believer of maintenance, and I think it shows it down on the drive.
I thought it was a new tractor. When I walked in there, I thought it was a new tractor. 7, 8 years old.
I hate to see it ruined in 2 years. And there's a possibility. I'm not saying it would happen, but there's a possibility.
well,
And then I look at, okay, in 2 or 3 years, if things don't continue well with the parks, and they come back to the selectmen, I'm just, you know, saying this for an example. What do we do then, okay, if we get all the parks back under the control of the highway department? What do we do there if the zero turn is not in very good condition?
right.
And we can't use it. Now we've got to expend X number of dollars
8,000.
to go buy another one. That's, but,
Well, there's only, what, usually there's 2 volunteers that are gonna mow?
Yeah, it's usually just 2 people that mow it. I mean, sometimes when I bring down mine, I mow it.
But that's not
That's
guaranteed,
my
though.
lawnmower.
But that's not a guarantee.
No, but it could be.
But
It's
you
easy
bring
enough.
yours down and you mow. But, I mean, you wouldn't want people on your mower that don't know how to work it.
Oh, heck, I've left it there. They're very rugged machines.
but the thing I look at. you
And
have
mine
to
is
do-
an
you have to
X-Mark
have it done
commercial.
by Thursday night.
Well, there's a lot more going on down there than just the football, so you have Little League.
Because the.
Little League is down,
stripes it.
they're almost down there every week. I mean, every day of the week, Little League.
He does it on
Really?
Thursdays.
Practices and games.
Games on the football field?
The Little League field,
Yeah,
it's going to be a coordinating
right.
effort.
Have you
I'm
looked
waiting
at
for,
the- Have you looked at the Little League field?
oh, yeah.
There is no field.
Uh,
It's all grown up. There's grass in it.
I know exactly what's there. There's a lot that's going to be done this year, including a backboard, including leveling and grading and seeding. And the Little League people are aware of this, but it's, you know, it's coming of age. The park is finally down there being used by other entities than just the football. I'm waiting for a schedule from the Little League, which I realize you didn't call me back with.
So essentially, it's going to be used every day for Little League and football.
The
Between the
fields?
two of them, right.
To a certain extent, they may have to forego some practices there because we have outside entities that are using the field now.
Yeah.
So it'll
But
be a
for the
scheduling.
It's a lot more than what it was been used
A
in
lot
the-
more than what it's been in the past, yes. Which is nice.
Yeah, that is good.
People are beginning to enjoy it and use it.
Well, I volunteered my time too, so, I'm all.
On a personal level, I really have this thing, and I've grown up with a lot of brothers and sisters that, you know, they would borrow something, and if they all used it, whether it be my bicycle or something, someone always used it different than the next person, and therefore it changed the way it got used.
Right.
So my tools are my tools. I just have a
I
problem.
can relate to that.
People borrowing my tools. I really have an issue with it because nobody maintains them the way that you do. Now you have volunteers. Not that it's a worthy cause. I'd love to find a resolve to get them a zero turn, to get them up and running because it's being used more often. I'm all for that. But to try to put a lot of volunteers and different people using it, and then what if something happened on one of the volunteers and, well, they forgot to tell somebody about it, so it can't get back to highway, it can't be fixed, and now the next person goes out and says, oh, that was broken before, and now you've got two things going wrong with it. And that's how generally things begin to kind of topple down on the domino effect on tools, and then you don't have tools.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I've done other people's yards in my neighborhood because they call and ask to borrow my equipment, and I'll go and mow for them, but I won't lend them my equipment. So I can appreciate that he doesn't want to, and although I was led to believe something else, they are using it, so it's not like it's sitting down there collecting cobwebs. As long as they're using it, why would they want it somewhere else where they have to constantly go get it to be able to use it? Instead, they want to keep it there. Now, I know last year that it was brought up that the guys would do the field, and Parks didn't want part of that because they didn't want to take the money for the field out of their budget. But, you know, maybe, I don't know, you can go back and talk to Parks. Maybe starting next year, Dennis can put money in his budget to do those fields, and then he just does them. And that way, they're in the control, and they take care of the equipment.
The problem is the frequency that they have to be mowed. There were some problems with that. We had problems with the previous landscaper that was doing it for the same reason. So it isn't indigenous to just the town. It's just, it has to be dedicated. But that's all right. I promised the Budget Committee I'd pursue it, and I did. And we will go on from here. I'll let the Budget Committee know the results of my inquiry.
Okay.
Is that the general consensus, everybody, or what?
I'm leery about loaning a town piece of equipment, just as I wouldn't want them to have, anybody to have the dump truck or
Oh, it was
whatever.
purchased. You know, I got to say this. It was purchased. If you look at the Selectmen's minutes
the
before it
ball
was
field.
purchased, it was specifically purchased
For the ball field.
for the ball field.
And he was doing the ball fields.
It was specifically purchased for the ball field, and this is what comes back to me over and over again from residents and the Budget Committee. That's what its purpose was.
But he did used to do the fields.
And now it cannot be used for the ball field.
But he was doing all the mowing.
Doesn't matter
before.
what
He's not
was-
saying-
It could have been used for the ball field.
I have to-
Nobody
I want to
budgeted
add
for
this
it.
too. For 30 years, I've run my own business. Lots, tons of equipment, very expensive equipment. Employees come, employees go. And I've never had a problem with an employee destroying my equipment. But that's neither here nor there. It's fine. I promised I would bring it up. I have.
So
I really don't want
maybe
to beat my head against this wall anymore, and I appreciate all the suggestions, but
Then why don't you talk to the Parks Commission about letting the guys do the field again?
well, as I said previously, there is a problem because they have a lot of work to do. They have
Not like they have extra
cemeteries.
time.
Yeah, they have things that have to get done, and the ball field's an extra. Well, for the park commissioners, it's not an extra, it's a priority. And because of all these entities using it, when it needs to get mowed, it's got to be mowed. And if we have rain, if we have rain on the weekend, then we're going to have to mow it sooner. If we have a dry summer, it's less.
We always accommodated Craig that it was mowed by Thursday night, so he could line stripe it for the football people over the weekend. It was always done. There was no that we
for the football people, but if we needed it sooner, done sooner, then, because as I said before, it's not just for football people.
Well,
So let's
no
put...
one was using the field, there was no games.
We're talking about today's world, Dennis, not past. It's going to be used a lot more. Last year, it was used a lot more, and it needed to be mowed more than twice a week.
But you're mentioning, okay, and you're saying that we didn't accommodate. Okay?
There were a couple times.
When we did it, okay?
There were.
Scheduled? No.
Yes, Dennis.
Disagree with you there.
No, there were a couple of times that it needed to be mowed and it wasn't, because I made the phone call.
Because Greg called me, okay?
That's fine. You know,
Took care of it.
this is what I wanted to avoid.
Let me,
I know, Catherine, because
Dennis.
I said to people,
I made phone calls to the
Okay.
town garage saying, you got to get the ball field mowed. I got those notes and minutes.
well, I'd like
So
to see it.
it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's, you know what? It's redundant. We're talking about past tense anyway. It's redundant.
so, I'm going to make a suggestion. I'll probably get shot for this, with people watching this tape, but what if we can squeeze through the summer and try to, at the end of the year, see if there's any funds that we can encumber, and then have Parks Commission have their own machine?
And, okay, who's going to maintain it?
Well, then
Well,
part of
We'd have to
business-
budget for it,
Yeah,
that's
so
all,
now-
and we could budget Public
Budget
Works.
for it, we could budget for it.
you
It's
know-
town property, who maintains town property? The highway garage.
If you want to bring that before the budget committee, go ahead, but I don't want to. Because I'm not going to sit there while they tell me, why do we need 2 zero cards?
Maybe we could do some fundraising and buy it with fundraising monies, and that
The
way...
point is, the town doesn't need 2 zero-turn lawnmowers.
Well, I mean, you make it sound like we need something over there. I mean, that's
The
part of the cost
town does
of
not need to
business.
own 2 zero-turn lawnmowers. Right now, that zero-turn's being used to mow
However-
the island.
however-
And it's being used to mow the garage. The reason it doesn't want to go down there is because people are afraid that volunteers could damage that machine beyond use.
Well, not only that, but it's
Yes.
out of their way to go get it to do their work.
Yes, but how...
But if a bagger could be purchased for the lawnmower they have, then they wouldn't need to use it
Exactly.
at all.
However, if we could either obtain the correct right-size lawnmower that he needs for all the jobs that he needs in the bagger with encumbered funds, so that you can take the zero-turn mower, there you go. We've
We've
got to find a way.
We've only had a zero-turn lawnmower for a few short years in the life of maintenance of properties in this town. And the only reason we purchased this is because of the size of the field, not because we had lawn at the town garage. We've mown the town garage since what, 2011? I mean,
So
2001?
he gets a bagger for the Husqvarna, or a suitable replacement that he's comfortable with for a mower, that he's going to be comfortable with a rear with a bagger, and then he doesn't use a zero-turn mower. That's what I'm saying, Catherine. The zero-turn mower goes to 132 Ballfield. It's the same thing as just exactly what you said. Getting a bagger for the other one.
I'll talk to the park commissioners about it.
I mean, it's an idea, it's a prospect, it's not something written in stone, it's just an idea. And if we have encumbered funds at the end of the year, maybe we could do it with that. That's just an idea. If we could squeak by for that, then we could find a resolve on it.
I'm iffy with the whole ball field concept to begin with. We got that ball field and sunk all the money into it for a football program. We don't even have a football team. The school has a football team.
Yeah, it's
We
part
don't
of the
have a
community.
football team.
Part of the community.
Well,
Just because it says
Wait a minute.
Winnisquam Regional in the name?
They do have a football team. We do have a community
Yeah,
football
we
team.
sponsor a football team?
You know
The
what?
town of Tilton
Part-
doesn't
If
sponsor.
We
you,
pay
if you
for
take the
everything.
time to go back and read Selectmen's minutes, you will find that that ball field was not created for a football team.
No, it was created for the
Sports.
use of the townspeople, whether it was
Football,
whatever
baseball,
kids wanted to
soccer.
play, organized
Didn't matter.
sports.
Well, I'm iffy
Uh,
with that whole concept. The fact is, I don't think we needed that big field as a park. We've got
Why?
lots of parks.
Why?
Why do
They
it?
have lots of
Because we have lots of kids who like to play lots of things.
Well,
on
I
big
haven't seen them
things.
over there. Maybe I just haven't been there at the right time. But to dedicate town resources during
I'm
a
seeing
time
them,
when it...
when I go by, I see a lot more activity going on. I'm really pleased that there's a lot more activity
I am too.
going on. I'm very, very pleased that that's happening. And I would really like to be a part of, letting them go forward and getting, some real activity going on up there. Whether it be school-sponsored or community-sponsored. It's all community-sponsored. It's volunteers. It doesn't have, the school doesn't sponsor it. That's why the community sponsored it. That's why they do fundraisers for community. It's the Friends of Winnisquam Football. Because it's not sponsored by the school, so it's community. What a better place to do that than in the town of Tilton, where the community has always come together, particularly for our children. So I'm 100% behind that. We just have to find a resolve. I'm sorry. I really have a little quirk about me about using. It's sort of kind of like, well, you know what? We should borrow something at the PD, and then we got to replace it later because it's not used properly. It's the same thing. I don't. It's the same thing even with our generator. If it's just a quirk I have, and I don't think that we should be lending it out. We should find another way to get you to get a right equipment to do the job up there. There.
Even if a town employee's running it?
Mm-hmm.
Even if a town employee's running it?
Yeah.
Even if the town employee purchased it?
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense. Well, whatever.
I'll pass on your suggestion. It was a good one. Monday night when they meet, see which way they want to go.
Okay.
I'll call you next week.
All right. Maybe we could find a way to temporarily work together and get it done this summer and see what we can work out and figure it out with schedules and
I'll talk with them Monday.
so on. Because I'd really like to see it happen. All right.
I do have another thing, we're gonna start sweeping on Monday.
Okay.
Okay?
Monday?
Monday. We're gonna try to get the whole town done Monday
Monday?
with 2 sweepers, okay? Why we're doing that is because after Monday, showers every day. So after that, it would be postponed for another week. So we're trying to get it all done on Monday. They're gonna start at 5 o'clock here on the Main Street, okay? So I will alert the police, please make sure that they're gonna start on Main Street, okay?
What time on Monday?
5 o'clock.
Okay.
He's gonna start actually at 4
Uh-huh.
AM or PM?
AM.
a.m. And I'm gonna have a truck here for 5 o'clock, okay? And then we'll do the inline town streets plus Mansfield, Chapman, all of them, okay? It may be a late day, but we'll try to get them all done.
Where does that get dumped, the sweepings?
The individual there on Mansfield took some of it last year.
Are you aware that DES has regulations on how to dispose of street sweepings?
Because of the salt and whatever?
Garbage.
Well, they got a whole list of,
Trash?
they have a whole list of stuff. I didn't know, quite frankly, until today. I was looking for something else.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Well, there's no, the only trash that we get sometimes is from the main street.
Yeah, but that's not what they're concerned about.
What are they concerned about?
It's interesting, the amount of toxic materials they felt was in it. And I could see that there were possibilities.
Oil and car fluids and salt and stuff like that.
I used to sweep for a living.
All kinds of stuff.
I hate it. Sucked.
It's in your lungs.
So what do they say, is it considered a hazardous material?
Yeah, you know, besides the, well, I can't get there from here.
Typical northerner.
So what do you?
Can't get there from here.
Drivers to come pick it up?
You know,
What's the solution?
I didn't look.
It's going to cost you money to dump them.
Sweep it over to the side. It was already on the road.
It's not gonna cost us anything, because we're already paying for the sweeper.
See if I can get there from here.
No.
Oh, it's up to them.
That doesn't come with disposal.
Oh, well,
They never do.
maybe it should.
It's in,
Maybe it should.
Because I'm not gonna pay the guy to travel down here 15 miles to dump it at $120 an hour.
Now, if there's regulations, we have to do that.
Yeah, exactly, right. I've never heard of it, and no other person has mentioned that it was.
You would think that they would send something out to the...
Exactly.
You would think so.
all I can tell you is what I saw. And like I said, I was,
Is it on the DES site?
yeah, it's in their,
I'll have to look that up tomorrow and see what they...
it's in their, yep, yeah, you know, those little flyers they put out, what do they call them?
Of the publication?
They have a
Bulletins?
name for them, fact sheets.
Yeah.
That's the plans for Monday, okay? Walter has put his stand poles up on the berms down there at
Yes.
the market.
Bullets, yeah.
I told him that I would be taking the barricades tomorrow.
Okay.
Looks good.
They're close enough so that cars aren't going to go between them or whatever, right?
Yes, they are. Yes. And actually, the poles that are standing up in front of the berm is just to notify the people that they can't.
Waste Management Division.
So they have them up there now?
We do have them up yesterday. And he came down today, and I told him to get the barricades that were there. I picked them up today. Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, if we can get them to work on the signage, it would be great.
Yeah.
So the sandwich board comes down now?
No, those bullets aren't in yet.
The what?
Those ones aren't in yet. The ones where the flags are. Because that's, he's gonna come in front of us because you guys had some deal going on, so you guys work on that. It's before my time.
The posts,
The flags.
the flags come down when there's a suitable agreement between the
Correct.
parking. So the flags have to stay up, but the sandwich
That
board,
sandwich board is part of it. It's written right on you guys as temporary signage.
Sandwich board was part of the flags.
was part of the
was.
flags, yep.
Oh, trust me, he pointed right out to me when he handed it to me.
But the signage on the side of
It was a whole
the
thing.
wall and the front of the wall that's covered with advertisement is not
He's
part of it.
he's coming into the zoning board for, to get more signage, if he can get more signage.
Really?
So is anybody else in town, including TLC, including haircuts for men.
So
They're
now
all
I
going
see
to have to
that-
come in, because they're all sticking signs up when they don't belong.
So now on Route 3, we see flags that say, you know,
I was looking at a guy putting up flags, and I'm thinking, God, the guy at TLC would really hate that if he saw the guy. It's like, big sale on the flags, exact same flags that they've
finance
got.
available, or...
Yep, yeah.
Up to Benson's, they've already been told. I talked to him today.
Brother, did you?
I take care.
People go by and they say, wow, what's up with that?
You guys opened that door, I remember. You opened that big door when you did that down there.
Well, I've shut it and locked it.
Well, I hope so.
Also, in another week or so, I may be coming to the board and running by the board, maybe a part-time person until the other employee gets back to work.
I was wondering why you didn't do that now.
Yeah.
After I find out how long it's going to be out.
Oh, he doesn't know yet?
You won't know until next week.
Okay.
Is Mike still putting in any hours, or has he gone back over to the other
He's
place?
gone back to construction. Yes.
Would that, you have someone in mind?
I don't, Pat.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
I don't believe it.
Okay, got it.
Trying to get some prices on our 10-year road plan for this year. The parking lots, Tyrone Lane,
Right.
Rescue Lane, and down through. I'm assuming, okay, that on Tyrone Lane, where the fence has been installed, is that individual's boundary line? Because I think he had it surveyed.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. And actually, you gotta check, how much does the church own on the other side?
On Tyrone,
On Tyrone?
a parking lot, a parking space.
Space.
Right, a parking space width, and that's it.
Right, okay? The other one, the rescue was pretty clear.
Right.
You know? But that one there on Tyrone, I guess I should check the road book and see if there is any measurements on that, which, I don't know.
I don't think you will find it. I remember when we did the research, I've got a file someplace on
But
it.
I think the individual from Northfield did the survey for the landowner.
Dave Krause?
Dave Kraus, I think he did the survey, so I could,
Well, we can check on that and see if he recorded it, then
Right.
there'll be a copy of it in the registry.
right, yeah,
They were taken by prescription, I think.
yeah. So,
Okay.
Well, I found it. I found it, I can't bring it up.
Where, the road you mean was,
Yeah.
by prescription?
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
Oh, that's odd.
so I'll be coming back and giving you
Oh,
prices
Oh.
on that.
how's the truck?
We'd love to have you.
Truck is down Fairfields, went down Monday morning, they're starting on it. When they get the body in, which should be in a couple weeks, we're going to take the body back here. We're going to paint the underside of it, prime it, paint it, and then we'll bring it back to them, let them mount it on. And then when it's all put on, and primed, then we'll bring it back here and have it line it. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a 1 ton?
That's the one thing, yeah.
Have you gotten rid of the other one yet?
Oh, yeah. That one today that we picked up the new one. Yeah,
Good deal.
yeah. It has left it a lot,
Yes, it is.
Seriously.
2 days.
Gone.
You see it around, or is,
It's been,
Ain't my problem.
it's been hauling material over in Indore.
No
But
comment.
Now it's not on the front,
right.
okay?
Okay. All right.
Usually put them in the back anyways.
No, he drove it home with the plow.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Better than to me.
Okay then.
It's okay, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So, that's now also too, they passed a new law that anything over 10,000 pounds as far as commercial vehicles do not have to be inspected twice. So we only have to inspect that big trucks once now, instead of twice. Okay? So that's the savings.
Nice.
That's kind of crazy.
Now DOT's out more, okay, because it's only one year inspection versus it used to be 2.
Right.
I find that they make these cuts, they make these cuts it's been this way for years, and you've done two,
Two inspectors.
and then they make something like cut the budget at the Veterans Home by $750,000. It's like,
Sure.
what?
Yeah, I know.
Just wait till the casino comes. That'll solve everything.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's like,
Oh, you
okay.
detected the sarcasm in my voice.
All right, okay,
That's all I have,
thank you.
okay?
Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, Dennis.
All right. Joyce? Moving right along. Gonna go into non-pub soon.
Wow, I couldn't bring that up at all in here.
What is it? I can't find what you're talking about.
It's not there, it's on the DES website.
DES?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have sent that out to street sweeping companies?
Nope. Not necessarily.
What?
A new regulation concerning the disposal of
It's not a
sand?
new regulation. One of their fact sheets.
Just like when you,
I would
Like I
think that the
said,
street sweeper would know.
I would assume that they would find out somehow, but if the state just figures that the street sweepers are gonna run across this somewhere, seems, seems odd, that's all.
Okay, Joyce, you're on.
This is a board appointment. You're reappointing Catherine Dawson as the member and Dennis Allen as the alternate member to the TAC committee.
Do they want to be?
Well, the board
I don't
had
mind.
voted to reappoint, that all the board appointments were the same as
Okay.
before.
Well, I know, but did you, if they wanted to be, that was the other part of that question.
Do you want to be, Catherine?
Sure.
But we don't know if Dennis wants to.
Oh, I'm sure
Dennis wants to
Dennis
be.
does.
Hey, he's not here to defend himself.
That's right, that's why I'm so sure.
Okay, I make a motion that we appoint Catherine Dawson as representative to the TAC committee and alternative representative Dennis Allen.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, next, I just wanted to remind you that tonight from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Tilton Senior Center on 11 Grange Road is a presentation. Senator Forrester is hosting her third forum on the Affordable Care Act. This event is geared towards the business community, is free and open to the public, but seating is limited and RSVPs are required. So are all of you going? Okay.
We all going?
I am not. I almost called in sick today, I feel
Jeannie
terrible.
Forrester with the Affordable Care Act tonight at Senior Center.
No, I won't be going.
All right. Do you need me to go over ahead of time to open up?
That worked out real well last week.
Oh, I'm a pro now.
Oh, okay.
W3 Management of
please.
Streetways.
Okay. Okay, I had forwarded to the board, I didn't hear anything back, Dan Crean, he's Executive Director and General Counsel for the New Hampshire Municipal Lawyers Association, and they had rescheduled the workshop for the, it's called Municipal Regulation of Itinerant Vending, Solicitation, and Panhandling. It's designed for town attorneys, police officers, and governing bodies, anybody that's involved with hawkers and peddlers licensing. And it's been rescheduled for April 24th from 9 to 12:15 at the local government center.
And that's on a Saturday or
It's a Wednesday,
a Wednesday?
9 to 12.
9 to 12:15.
I was gonna say I could do that.
And go up.
Wednesday the
It's their
24th,
fact sheets.
April 24th, right?
And there is a registration fee of $25.
And Wednesday the 24th.
Can you go?
I'm sorry, what?
Hawkers and peddlers, itinerant vendors. It's a workshop.
Who's giving that?
Dan Crean.
Dan Crean
Where?
at the local government center in Concord.
When?
April 24th, Wednesday morning, 9 to 12.
I was gonna say, I'll go, Joyce. And
All right.
hopefully somebody else wants to go. 9 to 12?
9 to 12:15.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I can go.
Yeah, this is the New Hampshire Municipal Lawyers Association.
Yeah.
This is next week,
Yeah.
Monday,
Yes.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
It's a
9
local,
o'clock.
9 to 12:15.
I have testing the day before, and I'm not sure how I'll feel. I do have it open. If I feel okay, can I really can't.
I'll go.
I'll say no. You folks can report back to,
Because I know so little about,
I'd love
Hawks.
to go.
Yeah,
I just not sure how I'm
get some
going to
questions
feel
on
after the
this.
test.
yeah.
Okay, it says, a registrant who is not the police chief of the municipality must be authorized to attend by the chief. Other municipal registrants must be authorized by the governing body. So you're authorized.
I was gonna say, we are the government.
I know.
Is that something that you'd like to attend as well?
Yeah.
I would only go if none of you were going, but if
sure?
you guys are going, no, that's fine.
You sure?
I'm positive, I've got lots to
Catherine,
do.
would you like to attend that? Hawkers and Peddlers? All right.
Okay, good.
So,
Because on the next day, I'm going to be at the benefit administrators workshop for the
All right.
whole day, so I just can't. be
everybody
there.
okay with Catherine going?
oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Because she's the one that fills out the applications for, yep. Okay,
Okay.
I'm good with that.
All right, so we've got Catherine Dawson, Catherine Wisner, Sandy, Pat, Joe,
I wouldn't put me down.
Joe.
and Joe.
Yes.
So we have 4. Okay?
I'm not sure how I'll feel.
Okay. Good idea. Okay.
We know how it's going to go.
Yeah, I know.
Before I get into, I'm doing everything alphabetical. Before I get into assessing, I just wanted everyone to know that I did sign up the two budget committee members to attend some of the LGC budget workshops, so they're all squared away. I ordered a hard copy of the Basics of Budgeting for Catherine Dawson, and I downloaded an electronic copy, and then paid for it, and then forwarded the electronic copy to the members of the budget committee that
Did you
requested.
forward that to us, too?
I can.
Okay.
Please.
I would like that, yeah.
Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah, Joe would like it, yeah.
Yeah, and just forward it to my Selectmen account, and I'll
Okay.
put it on my home computer to use.
Okay, assessing. One of these assessing matters will need to be discussed in non-public.
Okay.
You don't have to make a decision on it in non-public. I'm just letting you know, I'm giving you the information. You can think about it, you can talk with Lauren. I've tried repeatedly to reach her by phone. We did have a lot of email communication, but I would feel more comfortable if you spoke, either I spoke with her directly or you spoke with her directly. Okay, so for assessing, this is going to be a non-public. Lauren had said that they're down staff, so they're delaying their data verification visits. So I told her what I would be recommending to the board is that we go ahead and have Avatar send out the letter.
Right.
And they can do it on their Avatar letterhead, and they can pay for it and do for it all, because we already sent out our letter on town letterhead signed by the selectmen.
Right.
So I told her I would get back to her if the board approved of that.
Yeah,
I don't-
because that's basically, I had brought that up, because I did talk to
Right.
Lauren about that, and I brought that up to the board. They didn't seem to have any issue with it, but they wanted her to send something out and let them know that they'd been delayed, and that they would be coming, and then give them, what
And
their
give the date.
expectations.
Okay, she'll go ahead and do that. I also received a letter from Gary Roberge, and this is dated April 16th. Dear board members, as most of you know, utility valuation is not part of general assessing and is not included in any of our general assessing agreements. Utility assessing is very specialized and handled and billed separately, which is true. 2 years ago, we put money aside to do the utilities in 2013.
Right.
And then we said, oh, okay, well, that'll be part of our 2013 update, so we waited. Then we changed our 2013 update to our 2014 So we didn't do the utility update.
Right.
That'll come in our reval. It has always been built into our update or revaluation contract unless told otherwise. As such, many of you have not had to deal with separate utility defensive values as abatements were handled or included, and very few became appeals. However, this year, as some of you may have noticed your numerous utility appeals, utility defensive values is billed separately at $95 an hour and will continue to be. Some were billed as contract assessing an error, but that will be corrected going forward. Sorry for the confusion, but utilities are unique and cannot be handled by just an assessor, but rather by one with many years of utility experience in analysis and valuation and unique understanding of depreciation. So I emailed Lauren and said, I just received Gary's letter. The only utility we have right now that's under appeal is Fairpoint, and we have Attorney Radigan defending the town. I said, so does this mean that each time Avatar performs services on the Fairpoint appeal, are we being billed separately? Because what we budget in our annually for assessing is we just budgeted for data verification and contract assessing. So if we're going to be charged $95 an hour, I'm going to exceed our budget.
Right.
So she said that she would get back. She would talk with Gary and get back to me. And to give me an estimate of how, I don't know if very much is going to happen on that appeal in 2012.
Right.
So it may not be an issue, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And I have our assessor's contract to show you, if you'd like, that if you look at our budget and you look at the contract we signed, we budgeted exactly for $38,568. Okay, right now in appeals, for Board of Land and Tax Appeal, we have Sherryland, which is a 2011-2012, which we'll talk about later. And then before the Superior Court, we still have 4 counting Fairpoint. So that's pretty good. And then I have another, in going through all of these with Lauren, we discovered that on the 9 Winter Street property that was before the Board of Tax and Land Appeal, an adjustment had been made to the value prior to the BTLA decision, so that when Lauren sent me the disposition of abatement forms, it just had the BTLA decision as if that adjustment had been made.
Oh, okay.
So I need the board to, this was the vote that you had taken to make that adjustment. And these are the, did I give you the originals? No, here they are. Those are the disposition forms, and that's her tax card. That's the tax statement.
So what action do we have to take on it now?
You've already approved it. I just need you to sign the disposition of abatement forms.
You just passed it.
Right there. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. These are the originals.
There's 3 here.
Yeah, hand those 3 back to me. These are the 3 originals. Sorry. And then we'll discuss that one later. Okay, I received an email from the county administrator, Belknap County Administrator. As you know, each year the county commissioners come to a selectmen's meeting, and what they would like to do this year is a little bit different. They would like to invite you and your board and any other interested department heads to come to the county. You can pick the time and date, and they'll do their best to accommodate. The commissioners would like to take you on a tour of the county facilities, highlighting the jail, of course. I would like to go to that. They are hoping you would like the opportunity to see the different county departments and how they work. It would allow a chance for more casual conversation between the two boards and maybe some new idea sharing. It would probably take at least 2 hours. We would meet at the Superior Courthouse and go through that first, and drive back here to the county complex for the rest of the tour. Please let me know how you think this will go over, and then if we could provide a couple of dates and times, she will see what the commissioners can schedule.
That's at least a 3-hour. When they say 2 hours,
Yeah.
that's at least a 3-hour
Yes.
or 4.
Well, the only people that watch over the county budget are governing bodies, selectmen, and our two
Tilton.
reps. So I think we owe it to our taxpayers to make sure at least somebody is, and the county commissioners, there are 3 county commissioners that are elected that you get to vote on.
Do they, do they have any suggested dates?
No, they want you to tell them.
So just,
Oh, I
they want us to give
definitely
us
want to
more
tour
than
those
one, or, I mean,
facilities.
are they really just saying whenever you
They've,
can make
no,
it?
no,
we'll
they've
be there?
asked us to give them a couple of dates.
Do you want to do a different afternoon than our selectmen's meeting, or do you want to, like a
Whatever's
morning?
best for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a selectmen's meeting. There's certainly no decisions we're going to make,
How about
at least probably
a,
not printable ones.
how about like a morning, or
I can do a morning.
Well, depending on the day, I can certainly do a morning.
What time of morning? Next question.
oh, that's right, 11?
Sure, 11's good.
So we can do like an 11?
You all can do an 11 a.m.?
On what day?
Whatever.
Pick a day.
We'll pick a day.
Not
Sunday?
a Thursday.
Sunday?
You go to church, man.
Okay, so, yeah, sure you do. All right.
Tuesday, 23rd,
Tuesday the 20, no, that's not a good day for me.
25th
The
is
30th,
Thursday.
maybe. Tuesday the 30th. May 7th, Tuesday.
I'm good for Tuesday, the 30th.
I'm good with the 30th.
Let's do up the 30th.
So you're all okay for the 30th?
Yep.
All right, and then can you give me one other day in
How about
May?
the 7th?
Oh, I'm
Or
done.
the 7th?
Killing me.
What?
No, this would be an alternate. An alternate, what?
Yeah, sure, 7th is fine.
7th is okay?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm good with the 7th.
Yeah,
I'm going to put a question mark on this.
I've been to the courthouse and I've been to the commissioner's office, but I've never, and one time to the jail. But not for me, for someone else. So I would like to go.
Glad you went on record.
I had to
telling us
drop
that.
someone off.
County tour.
Me too.
How was the food, Joyce?
No, I just dropped them off. That's it, I'll see you in a week.
Sure you did.
Okay, so, let me
Did
just
they
write
take your
this down.
shoelaces?
Weren't me. All right, let me just, so the 30th, the 7th, 11 a.m. I think that'll be fun.
I'll go if I can.
Okay, and while I'm talking about the county, a citizen of I take it back. This person's on the budget committee for the fire department.
Okay.
Came to tell me specifically that the county commissioners are not funding, they're no longer going to be funding the Lakes Region Fire Mutual Aid. They've taken it out of the budget. I said, well, geez, I would have heard something.
Yeah, has that budget been approved?
Well, he said, well, it's not going to be until
according to the paper this
2014.
morning. They
Oh, what
got
did the
this whole
paper say?
thing. The lawyers, we're talking lawyers again.
Okay, well,
What does that mean? I don't know. I wasn't there, but there was a thing that the county commission and the delegation had a very contentious meeting,
Yeah.
and the delegation either getting a lawyer or researching a lawyer or asking a lawyer or something.
well, what I was told is that no decision has been made regarding Lakes Region Mutual Fire Aid by the county.
But you heard it from a budget committee member.
Yes. No decision has been made.
Straighten out the budget committee?
No, I'm just telling you. I just got this late
Does that mean
yesterday.
our budget is the taxes are gonna go down by that amount? No. They're just gonna give us less services.
So.
Well, she
how
says
do you deal with
the
something
county
like that?
bills the way it does only because all the boards of selectmen have asked us to. And it's the same thing, it's got to be one or all. You can't just do one or all, because there are a couple of towns in Belknap County, it would be to their advantage to not be billed
Right.
through the county.
So what that's saying to us is, regardless of what we want, they're not going to pay their bill.
No. No. It'll stay the way it is
Yeah.
until all the governing bodies say, we don't want to do this anymore.
It has to stay that way.
Well, I understand that, but you just said the budget committee members said that they weren't going to fund it.
No.
Lakes region.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, the county wasn't going to
County
fund
wasn't
it.
Okay.
Right,
It's on
the
their
county
county
wasn't
budget.
going to fund Lakes
Right.
region.
Okay.
Right.
Wasn't going to be the tax collector for Lakes
Right.
Region. So if you're,
There is some thought to that.
It was
They're
Meredith
thinking
that-
of it. They're going through some research and brainstorming about it, and would like to come to a resolve on it, but they
Right.
didn't.
nothing has been
Right,
decided
nothing's
yet.
been decided.
That's the reason I'm bringing it to your attention, in case, so that you, as of today, that's directly from their county administrator. Okay,
But you're going to
Be
get
Ms.
back to that
Shackett, would it?
individual.
yes.
Okay, good.
Because I don't know who he's getting his information from. Okay, I had mentioned, God, it's been over a month, that as part of this comprehensive economic development plan that we're participating in through Lakes Region Planning Commission, we wanted to have recognized as one of the projects was extending municipal water
Right.
to the business park. So they've accepted that into their plan. But as part of that, the person the consultant that's working with Lakes Region Planning Commission wanted to know if any of the selectmen or the water company or whoever wants to, that he can make arrangements for the executive director of the Community Development Finance Authority, which that's the state agency that handles all the CDBG grants and all of the tax credits. Those two programs, major programs, those are really the only tools you have that can assist for economic development, that he would be more than willing and happy to come up and meet with the board or whoever at the business park, at least make them aware that this is our situation, this is an area that can be developed, that we're bringing in good businesses, because we just had Sea Light come in, that there are some plans to put in a tank and run the water, so is there anything coming down the pipeline that we can jump on to help facilitate this?
I can see a water commissioner and an owner representative of the business park.
Yeah. Me too. I was going to
Because
say.
it's really, selectmen have no authority on what's
Right.
getting done over there.
Yep.
The authority would be the water commissioners and the owner.
And
But there
the-
needs to be
And we
somebody
can
kind
host
of,
it. Yeah, we can.
I would like to be there just to a fly on the wall, informational, as a member of the Belknap County Economic Development Council that kind of ties into that, and anything that we can do to move Tilton forward in a positive way, I'm all about that.
And maybe if you call and share this with Scott,
Yep.
and either he or, he could share it with the rest of the commissioners, so, because I know they're sensitive about who says what when it comes to the water district.
Right.
So, I think that would be a good idea, and Joe would be a representative as well, which would be there to learn what's going to happen, but,
And I get in touch with one of the Nickersons.
yeah.
So let me know when it is, and I'll...
well, you need to tell me, because they're doing this, they're scheduling this around.
Well, talk
me.
with Scott and
Okay.
Casey or whatever, and whatever time's good for them, I'll clear that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Late Tuesday afternoons are bad for me, because I teach a class for the food bank.
But I think I would start with Scott.
Okay.
My first call.
All right, because if there are some businesses that are out there and they can be attracted to the park, we can point them in the direction where they can get some assistance.
Right.
Okay, that's good. Okay, Ernie's. What I did, Catherine, I know we don't like to make too many paper copies, but Eliza did do the minutes of the meeting, and I thought, God, this will save me from talking. because I can just pass out the minutes, and people can have them, because there's good information in
Oh,
there.
I'm happy. I love paper copies because I can write on them.
I'll highlight,
Have you ever figured out how to write
Yeah,
on
I
a computer
did.
screen and leave
You
it on the
didn't
stuff?
print me a copy, did you, Joyce?
I did.
Oh, Joyce.
Presumptive remedies, that sounds like Catherine.
Crying trees.
It is.
What is it?
I looked at presumptive remedies, and then I saw your name next to it. I said, that looks like Catherine.
For the record, we held our public meeting for public comment to review the brownfield cleanup activities, the APCA draft report for the Ernie's cleanup. It was part of the first part of the Conservation Commission meeting, and Crederi Associates, our consultants, showed up, and they addressed what the existing conditions are, and also the full report is available on the town website, and it's also available in the town hall. We encourage people to read the report, and if they have any questions, to contact myself here at the town hall, and I'll do my best to get them the answers.
Northfield will own the bridge?
Yes.
I got that in there.
It hasn't really been determined.
They,
Presumptive.
no, they own it.
But the bridge isn't even there.
I know,
How can they own what's not there?
Who declares that they own it?
because they're working and paying for it.
Yeah.
And they have an agreement with WRTA that WRTA is giving them money to maintain it.
So do they pay us for landing on Tilton?
No, they haven't asked. They've asked for an easement.
WRTA has.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But if they don't own the bridge, the easement's going to have to go to Northfield.
Right.
And then they would get an easement from Northfield to be allowed to use their bridge
Well,
for
either
their
way,
trail.
it's a good deal for the town of Tilton because we don't own it. We don't have the liability.
Well, I don't wanna own it.
We don't have the maintenance.
Right.
But until it's writing.
Oh, yeah, no, that will all be when you do your easements. I just wanted that to be up front.
Optimistic. I like that, Joyce.
Up front before. So, let's see, what else? So our comment period, here's one. On May 8th at 5:30, the Conservation Commission will be having a workshop to meet with members of the WRTA
It's odd, but
to just bat around some ideas for how the parcel will be redeveloped, and the selectmen are invited. Anyone is invited to attend, but it's just
May 8th?
May 8th at 5:30. And the other thing that, one of the things they will be talking about is they've asked about putting up a banner or a sign on the Ernie's property, just kind of announcing to people what's going on. And that would be an allowable expense in the EPA. However, we're always looking for match money, and the WRTA is able to provide that sign. So they just have to agree on what the sign is going to say, and also they were all agreed that it would have to be movable, because it doesn't want to interfere with construction. Another interesting thing that came out of that meeting is that on June 22nd and 23rd, which is the Old Home Day weekend, they're trying, the Winnipesaukee Trails Association, in conjunction with, and I don't know the name of the New England
Ken
Canoe.
Norton's group?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was in conjunction with WRTA. That's cool. I thought it was just Ken's group. Doesn't matter. It's cool if it is.
finish your thought, Joyce. 'cause
Okay,
I
yeah.
have no clue where it's going.
Okay. That they're going to be hosting a kayak slalom race in the river.
Where? Like down past the Ernie?
Yeah, you know how there's, you know the bridge that by Cumberland Farms?
Oh, yes.
That would be the end point, and the starting point would be the bridge that crosses over the river, where our...
They all cross over the river, Joyce.
Well, you know which one I mean.
The whole bridge concept. One up near McDonald's?
No, the next one up.
Okay.
Next one up. And the way they do it is on each side of the river, they have to put in poles, and then they string wire, and then from the wires, then they hang the gates that they have to go through. So they will be asking for permission from, the Conservation Commission said it's fine, that they can use that. And all the parking and everything will be over on the Northfield side, so there won't be any parking on
They want
on the
permission
Tilton
from the
side.
Board of Selectmen to be allowed to string their gates.
String away.
Make a motion.
I make a motion they can string away.
Second.
Motion's been made to allow the kayak solemn to take place and
I said.
put up gates, June 22nd and 23rd. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Boy, you really read a lot into his motion.
Well, she knew what I meant. She knew what I meant.
I had to do that for clarification.
Okay.
Catherine.
And Joyce, I was walking around on the former Ernie's property, as well as Peninsula Park. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know what the name of that thing is. And there is evidence of beaver activity on both parcels.
Really?
Yes. That indicates to me that somewhere in the vicinity is a place where beavers reside. I think on Peninsula Park down there, it might just be a snag of branches, but I grew up right beside a beaver dam, and it looks like beaver activity at that location. I don't know what, if anything, that does to anything, but I think it's important that somebody knows that there's beavers in the neighborhood.
Called
Well,
the-
last
we
year,
should-
they were visiting the...
Island Park, yes. Well, apparently they've moved upriver a little bit.
We have problems with them cutting trees in Riverfront.
Really?
Yeah,
They're just big rats, Joyce. I mean,
but we've put hardware mesh around the trees, which has stopped it. Where's Peninsula Park?
it abuts Ernie's, and it kind of is shaped like the state of Florida. It comes to a point.
You know, the pieces that we're negotiating for.
Jetting out of the...
I have another name for it, but I won't go there.
It doesn't stick out.
It's the
Well, it's
peninsula
curious.
abutting Ernie's.
Usually they build their house and then they make their dam. I hope they don't think they're going to dam the river.
Well, no, I know you're right, but
But they can
don't
carry
need-
upstream.
They dam the river so that they can have it deep enough for them to swim in. They've got that already without a dam.
Well, no, they back up the waters for fish, to hold the fish back in.
Fish. I didn't even
There's food
realize
supply.
that beavers ate fish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they hold their
That's why a
food
fish
supply
tank.
back. Well, at least that's what a fellow told us,
Yeah.
because we have trouble with beavers on one of our parcels.
All right, so I have some good news.
Yep.
Okay, on May 15th, the,
I have it denoted.
I don't know what we call it, former Martin piece, the DOT piece, the DOT property,
Peninsula Park.
the state property
Yeah.
is going before, it's on the governor and council agenda.
Do you want a Coke?
Do they expect us to go? Is it normal to go?
You can, Coach, you can. I don't see that you have to, but the holdup was they were just waiting to hear from the New Hampshire Housing Authority, and they finally contacted DOT and said they're not interested.
The Housing Authority?
They get
Get
first dibs.
first dibs on any property the state sells.
Oh, well, that's totally
I mean,
unsuitable for
you
housing,
Couldn't
certainly,
put
but
more than, what, a 8-by-12 shed?
Yeah.
Even that on the property.
Thank you.
So that's good news, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Did you pass that on to the Mitchells?
He sent it to me, because he's the one dealing with Phil
Oh,
Miles
okay,
at
he got
DOT.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect, so they know that's...
So, and as far as I know, that it's the Conservation Commission that's going to be buying it. So
No,
that's
we're going to
good.
buy it for the Conservation Commission.
No, they're using their money.
They're using their money.
They're using their monies, but we have to
We
sign
have
the
to
deed.
sign the deed.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yes.
a joint effort. The
Right.
monies are not
joints?
coming out of the
We
general
actually have to
fund.
sign the paperwork to do
Right.
it.
Right, it says,
Yeah.
If you're going to buy things, that's the way to do it. You buy it,
Right,
you pay
it's-
for it.
under Powers of Conservation Commissions,
I like that.
The commission, they can receive money, personal property, real property, water rights, even outside the municipal boundaries, by gift, grant, bequest, devise, subject to the approval of the local governing body, but such gifts to be managed and controlled by the commission for the purposes of this section. Said commission may acquire in the name of the town, subject to the approval of the local governing body, but it's the Conservation Commission that manages and controls this is, and shall manage and control the same. So it's the Conservation Commission that, you know, they can accept stuff and do whatever as long as the governing body approves, but they manage and control it.
Right.
And then as far as...
So that would go for the Ernie's property as well?
Correct. And the other tie-in is under the 4114A, which the town meeting adopted, that allows the selectmen to acquire property or lease property, do whatever you want if you follow that process of going to the Conservation Commission and the Planning Board, but not the, but what's exempt from that authority is sale of town-owned conservation land, which is managed and controlled by the Conservation Commission under the provisions of 36A. So you can't sell it. You can give them permission to buy it,
You can't sell it out.
but you can't sell it out from under them.
No, and they're talking about putting a conservation easement on it,
Yes, they want to put some restrictions in the deed.
Right.
because the Ernie's property actually could be built on.
Yep.
You won't be, but...
Well, they want to make sure, I mean, you know, people that come after us.
Okay, so that's all good. Okay, now some more good news. I submitted the police department is going forward with the criminal complaint on the sand on Hill Street. And I submitted our damages to Officer Salmon, who's handling that case. So,
And that's under the nuisance ordinance?
it's under,
Disorderly action.
Disorderly actions, okay. Illegal sweeping.
and some more good news. This is
You're
why I'm
just
in a good
full of
mood.
good news, aren't you, Joy?
I was contacted by Lowe's, and they're going to pay the damage. I just have to put it on an invoice. I had sent them a letter, but they said put it on as an invoice
They're going to
to
pay
North
what?
Carolina for the highway department's time cleaning up the water, icing up when their water tank leaked. So that's good news. Oh, I even have more good news.
Jeez, I don't know.
Just full of it, aren't you, Joyce?
The other day, I called Mark Morrill, and I said, "Hi, Mark," at DOT Division
Oh, yeah,
3. I
yeah,
said,
I
"So
know.
it's spring, you know, happy spring, what's going on?" He goes, yeah. He says, "I got to get up to Caleb Hill and Colby and Clark Road." And so I just reminded him. So he is planning on going up there. And then I said, "So how did
Do what?
well, he didn't say, but he did say,
Ride on Caleb Hill.
well, I said, well, how did it go? Because you had, and I realized, oh, yeah, you were with the assistant commissioner of the Department of Transportation. Oh, and wasn't Bill Janelle there? and
Senators and
Bill Lambert was there, and our state senators.
Yes, and
He goes, yeah. So, and I said, so where are you going to get the money? He says, well, I got two pots. I can either take it out of betterment money or something else. I said, well, he goes, he was going to take a ride up there. And I said, oh, well, be sure and call Dennis and just, you know, when you come in, so Dennis knows to meet you there. And then just to follow it up, I was going to send him, you know, aerials showing where the bad, I went over this with Dennis, where the really bad spots were. And I was going to give him the street numbers so that he knew where they
Make sure
were.
you drive.
draw him a map and
That's the whole
make sure he
road.
doesn't get lost.
They can't fix one part of the road, because it's just going to bring it down to another part of the road.
And so
I
also,
want to see that, I'm sure.
so also during that conversation, I said, so what's happening with our Silver Lake Road audit? And he said that Stuart Thompson, the gentleman that was in charge of that,
Yep.
Tell me if I
took another job. He's working in Washington DC. So she sent me what they had, and I'll read the cover letter in a second.
Oh, excellent. I was talking about this just the other day.
You know we're losing some of our manholes up there? They're sinking in the ground.
They do seem like they're starting to recede, doesn't it?
The woman who's in charge of it now, her name is Michelle Marshall. She's the State Highway Safety Engineer. And she said, "Hello, here is the final report. The consultant is working on concept plans, and once those are complete, I will let you know so we can set up a meeting to show the town and the road safety audit group."
Good.
So they're gonna audit that road?
Well, they did. This is the audit.
That was the day we went out there,
Now
and they were going
now
to
that
do
they're going to
counts.
audit, they're going to come up with ideas of how to correct this deficiency.
Well, they must have saw the deficiency on that Silver Lake Road with those things sinking, because that's a problem.
I'd let this, Johanna needs to know if because those are town-owned.
Dennis and Tim and I have had some...
Sewer manholes.
Oh, the sewer, yeah.
Dennis and Tim and I have had some informal conversations amongst the three of us on the different co-op options, and you went to that meeting today, Joe? The co-op meeting today? Wasn't there a co-op meeting today? Yes. Oh, last night. So you'll cover that under your...
It's basically exactly what we sat here, and it was just a joint board meeting, and they broke the news to everybody all at once.
How did everybody react?
There was some concern by some of the various representatives, but it was taken fairly well. I think that there was initial support from a number of communities because their options are limited. If you go to the last page of that and who could save what, and you add up all the tonnages and stuff for the communities that would benefit by going somewhere else, we don't have the 58%. Even with Concord coming in for some reason, and they might, but then we would only have 73% instead of 75. That didn't seem to be a big, when it gets down to the last hour, it was felt that WCC would probably sign up for a slightly reduced tonnage or commitment, but they need a number of the communities to participate. Otherwise, at the end of 2014, all assets are distributed with the exception of like the 20-year, 30-year, 100-year contingency funds for the closing of the ash landfill, and everybody gets their money. There is one other thing. There was a number of $117,000 based on ash credits, and there was talk about if we reduced our tonnage by 30% with this pay-as-you-throw recycle project, would that reduce our tonnage by 30%? I got to thinking about that, and I asked quite specifically last night. It's like the numbers are based on the residential tonnage only.
Right.
So our commercial tonnage wouldn't drop by 30%. So when you take 30% of the 40%, you're talking more like 10, 11% less. So it would be $10,000 or $11,000 less than the number, approximately, that was listed. So we're still looking at 105,000 as opposed to 117,000. And most of the year is gone by already. So, I figured it out like 7-8% less.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be 30%.
So one of the things that Tim and Dennis and I will do is we'll sit down, we'll go through it, and we'll just kind of list some pros and cons for the board, and also some suggestions on, what to ask and
Is anybody getting in touch with Best Way to play Let's Make a Deal?
not yet. I think it's a little premature.
I
we
actually
only have
have
until what, June
news on
30th?
that front as well. I spoke with a neighboring community with an interest in the transfer station who was meeting with the representative from Bestway today at 1 o'clock, and she's supposed to be emailing me the gist of it. Because I had discussed it with her at the OC Operating Committee meeting last week, and she said she was going to meet with him. My first statement was, can I go with you? It's like, well, no, because it's going to cover things that wouldn't be pertaining to your municipality, but as soon as I do this, I'll let you know kind of what happened, and you can then set your meeting up with best way to
Oh, good.
see what's what. And it's never too early. We've only got till June 30th to make our decision, so we have to know about time frames and what have you, because with no transfer station over there, our options become much more limited.
Well, what I was going to suggest is if we could have some time on next week's agenda, and part of pulling together information was what I would feel more comfortable with is getting some firm, hard information on just what is going on in Belmont, so that we have all that information for you, and then the board you can make your decision, start negotiations, do whatever you want to do.
Can we get Mr. Hilaire to come over and see us as a board?
I think we should all talk first. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Did you want to talk first and then have him come?
Well, I think if we get the information, then we can all sit here and go over whatever it is that you find, so we can kind of familiarize ourselves, and then we sit down with him,
Yeah.
so that we have some, some background, so,
All right.
And you have your questions.
yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll have our questions to ask.
All right. Good. So it's next Thursday, we'll set aside some time?
You're on that one, Joyce?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I'm like you, I want to make sure we're moving forward so we're not caught late.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
don't wanna
We
be
set
caught
aside
in
an hour next week, right? For recycling.
Okay.
Well, best way recycling.
We meet on the 24th, so there'll be some answers, things to discuss.
All right. Okay?
All right. These are the residential recycling agreements that you voted on Tuesday.
Okay.
So what we're doing now, I talked with Tim, whenever we have contracts, we're going to make 2 copies so that we will always have an original. The contractor will have an original and we'll have an original. So this, and I checked with Tim, yes, this is exactly the one that you had Tuesday. So the board would need to sign that. And then I created a cover letter to go with it. And I had Tim review that. He said, that's good. And then...
It has not changed, correct?
It has not changed.
Okay.
I swear to God.
Well, I don't want to have to read the whole thing.
No, I swear to God, it's what you had Tuesday.
Okay.
And then this does 3 things, this letter.
Is that the amendment?
It's an assignment and an amendment to the extension of the curbside residential solid waste collection agreement. So we're referencing Section 19, which is the assignment clause in our current municipal solid waste contract, saying, as such, the Town of Tilton Board of Selectmen, as part of this agreement, do hereby provide written consent that the agreement dated April 1st, 2008, and the extension to this agreement dated November 29th, 2012, may be assigned to Casella Waste Systems, Inc. through its subsidiary Bestway Disposal Services. That's the same language that was in that other letter you got. The second thing it does is it's modifying the agreement under Section 24, which you can't make any changes to the agreement unless it's done in writing by both parties. And what we're saying is the Town of Tilton and Casella Waste Systems, Inc., through its subsidiary Bestway Disposal, agrees as follows. The extension dated November 29th, 2012 to the agreement dated April 1st, 2008 shall remain in full force and effect in conjunction with the aforementioned assignment consent. 2, the extension to the agreement dated November 29th, 2012 shall be coterminous with the residential recycling agreement, which you have here, executed on April 16th. That was the date that you voted. Thereby extending the solid waste agreement from March 31st, 2012 to May 31st, 2016. And then we have the contractor agrees during the term of this agreement to honor and abide by any changes to the town waste ordinances and policies as set by either a vote of town meeting or the Board of Selectmen as it relates to solid waste collection of town authorized bags or containers once recycling collection commences. And then please sign both copies of the agreement, and I've only printed one, so let me print out another one. And then the selectmen, and then left it blank, because we really want to get a clear understanding of who is signing now. So I'll have to print out another one.
My understanding is that this gentleman's name is Paul St. Hilaire, not Arthur.
They're brothers.
They're brothers.
That explains it. Okay.
He's vice
I
president of
didn't know
operations.
there was a brother, so, all right. Never mind.
One does the office work, and the other one comes out and negotiates.
And
Paul
where-
is the one that,
And where all this language came from is from this document that you had received before that you had already approved. It's just I had to split it out into two documents, and Tim has reviewed it, and he's fine with it. I'm almost done. This one I'm going to wait on because I got to talk to the chief about it. The state aid, oh, here's another good one. I finally got in touch with the Project 4 consignment, and she was very appreciative. I told her you had tried contacting her, and she was very appreciative of us making the extra attempt to try and reach her. And the other thing is, I said, now that we've got your information, you know, we'll be sure to contact you when we have anything impacting. So she was very appreciative. State aid grants. Friday, May 3rd, because remember now, our money for Lockmere Sewer and when we closed out the dump, our money is part of the budget. So the budget now is going before the Senate Finance Committee. So this is another opportunity for us to remind our state senators, don't forget that in this budget that is before you, that the town of Tilton,
I think we'll be seeing one here relatively soon, won't we?
seeing what?
One of the senators.
Well, good, then we can give this to her tonight.
So, yeah.
Now, why don't I see Tilton? Oh, and also, this is interesting, that the White Rock Estates, remember we did that CDBG grant? They're in here for, they had requested $105,540, but they have budgeted $5,277 for each of the fiscal years, so they would even get some money. And then the Winnipesaukee River Basin Project, which comes through Tilton, they're in for $2.7 million. And for the town of Tilton, our landfill closure is $112,642. I thought it was $97. And then,
We might finally get money.
yeah, well, we have to stay on it. And then our Lockmere Village project is $1,286,634. So what we have made up for the selectmen are these little packets. One is for Andrew Hosmer. And one is for Senator Forrester, and has in here the amounts that we want.
Okay,
So does anybody want to
I was going to say,
take responsibility for contacting the, oh, and also, they want to hear from elected officials. They don't want to hear from people like me.
No, I missed the first part of it, Joyce.
That this is the last push on before May 3rd, is contact our state senators and just remind them, we're thankful that the money's in the budget, but we have to make sure they keep it in the budget.
right,
And cite specifically our dollar amounts. So we have two senators, Hosmer and
Forrester.
Forrester. So would somebody volunteer to
Call him? A reminder?
Or meet them personally before May 3rd?
We can go to, yeah, we can go to Hosmer tomorrow.
And we'll see the other one tonight.
Okay.
The other one
So
tonight.
here's a packet for each. And Catherine, I'll give you this for your minutes. Okay, and now another fun thing.
Does it say which one is what?
Doesn't
It just
matter, they're
doesn't
both
matter.
identical. You might want to just read through them and highlight them out.
Joyce, where's the other copy of this? Can you
Oh, I
just
have
tell
to
me?
print it, yeah, I gotta
Oh, all
print it. I'll do that as soon as I'm done. The company that bought Sherryland would like to rename the roads. Now, again, you don't have to make a decision tonight,
The new owner?
the new owner.
I like that, well, this one won't work.
I've seen it, I'm all set with it. I think,
What is it, Main Street?
I think it's a good thing.
Foxglove.
We already have one, don't we?
Wait, it's not Foxglove, but it's close enough. It's Fox Run.
Fox Run, that's
Um,
it.
Jensen?
Jensen's. They've got Clover Drive,
Country Meadows.
Primrose Drive, Astor Drive, and Country Meadows Drive. I will have to, in order to, if we're okay with it, I guess we'll have to send it to 911 and make sure there's no conflicts.
This is all on private property, isn't it?
Their vote doesn't supersede ours.
No, I understand that, but we don't get to name roads on
Have to be
private
initialed
property,
by
do
all
we?
board members.
We approved them, or,
I see, but that's a function of 911 as much
We
as
can't
anything,
have a
right?
duplicate.
No, I understand that.
this would
I
go
understand.
to, now, like this one, Foxglove.
Yeah.
And
Can't
they
have a
read it
similar,
911 will say
right,
it's too
similar,
similar to the
reality.
road in,
Can't even talk
and
to
they
me.
might make them change that one.
Yep.
You and Sandy need to initial those.
But the other ones seem all right.
Yeah, the other
no, we
one,
I
don't.
think they're all fine.
No, we don't.
you know, unless there's something over there.
Oh, 'cause you have the
either
three.
in Belmont or Northfield
didn't
that I'm
vote
not
for
thinking of.
That's right. Did you, so this isn't signed?
Well, we have a, yeah, there you go. Back in the line.
Okay, I think it's the start of something that might be very good.
So the individual who used to own Sherry Land is no longer associated with this, right?
That is correct.
On any level?
Correct.
Okay.
He still maintains some property in town.
Well,
Woodland, right?
Yeah,
Quite a few
Yeah.
acres.
Pat, you need to
Isn't
initial
it,
it's probably owned by his
they
brother
bought
or
all the
whatever.
way over
When,
to,
when, I can show you all that when we
No,
talk
we
about
didn't
it.
vote for it.
did he buy all the way over to,
Cindy,
behind
Yes.
Colby's?
Yes.
yeah, Cindy
Did
gave
he
me all
buy
the
it or
map and
did
lot
his-
numbers of the new
The
They bought
company that
all
his
of
brother
their
owns
property?
buy it.
It was my understanding that there was a
Because now we're
parcel
gonna have
left.
problem getting, never mind, that's
The
not
people
for this
bought
kind
all
of
the
talk
property
anyway.
up on School Street?
I'll show you, when we, can we do that? Well, we'll double check when we do go into non-public.
Let's party tonight.
Okay, there was another cover letter here. Okay. So I just have to print another one of these, okay. Do I have any more plastic covers?
Oh, you want this back?
No, but, so next week, do you want to
We
vote
all
on the
have one.
names?
Oh, okay, yes.
Nick-
Has this been given to
Here's
Gus?
right there.
Gus gave it
Yes,
to
came
us.
from Gus.
Came
Okay,
from
now,
Gus.
has she submitted this to 911?
No, no, because the selectmen have to approve it.
Okay,
Can we just make a motion to accept all the names if they're
Yeah.
good with 911?
Second.
I make, that's my motion.
yep.
Okay.
A motion's been made and seconded to accept the proposal for the new names on the road in Sherryland, contingent upon
Sign that one.
approval from 911. Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
Yes.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain?
Okay, and my last thing, I could go on, but I think I've worn out my welcome here.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but
Hey, I haven't talked to you guys in over 3 weeks, so I'm taking advantage of it. Capital contractors, the board had asked if they were employees or subcontractors.
Yes.
and they are subcontractors. They are not employees. And they are on Capital's insurance. The only time the town, because we had this conversation this morning about subcontractors, the only time the town would be exposed would be if, for whatever reason, Capital Contractors Insurance, which we have the insurance certificate, went away, and one of these subcontractors were injured, then legally they would go up the chain, and if there was no insurance with Capital Contractors, then they could come against the town's insurance.
But our conversation this morning wasn't about subcontractors because it didn't involve an entity that was in business.
Okay. I understand, okay. But we had a conversation about
similar, yeah.
how liability, why it's so important that when the town hires vendors, that we get a W-9, and if they're doing work for the town, we get a certificate, if they're performing services.
Each one of these people that are doing this work are working under a supervisor that's subcontracted by Capital Contractors.
That's correct. So we're protected, but we want to make sure that we get that certificate of insurance every year, because that would expose us. And we do.
Okay.
That would expose us. But it's important that whenever the town is hiring a contractor, that we get a W-9, and for any business, and then if they're performing services for the town, we get a certificate of insurance. And if they have subcontractors, either they have to make sure that the contractor has insurance certificates for his sub work.
And we were recently exposed, but we'll talk about it in non-public.
I hate being exposed.
Yeah, we were.
Well, when I've done my RFPs for work here at the town hall, in the RFP and the one for the police station, if you are using subcontractors, you got to give me their name and address and a proof of insurance for the subcontractors. And if you're into big money, then you have them file, we'll make sure that they set aside the money to pay the people. But we've never had that problem.
Joyce, question on this abatement?
Yes.
I see the tax report here. This tax is due. But I see a note on it that says there's nothing owed on one address.
Correct.
However, the other address card isn't here that they own, but this shows money owed.
Right, so it would be an abatement, not a refund.
Right, so, yeah. So
In
this
fact,
money will be applied to
Yes.
back taxes.
And then as soon as that's applied, I'm going to have a complete tax statement printed out to give to that taxpayer. And what they want to do is come in and make an appointment to talk to the selectmen to work out a payment plan, because it's going to deeding on June 21st.
They're going to wait till the 20th?
Before to come in and talk to you? Oh, no, I'm just trying to make sure that her tax statement is up to date. And we'll work that out through Catherine and Pat as to when she'd be coming in. And I'm going to quick print out that extra page to be signed.
We have one letter from a resident that it's been policy that we read the letter. Is everybody okay with the recycling letter that we got
Yeah.
in the email?
I haven't read it, but you bet. Whatever it is, it is.
Letter?
You haven't read it?
I didn't get it. Was it just to the board?
I've been tied up all day
Right.
long.
Wasn't in there.
Ready? Dear Board of Selectmen, I understand that you discussed our recycling program at last night's meeting. I am in OR on vacation.
Oregon. Oh, that
Oregon,
letter.
okay, on vacation, or I would have been there. I want you to know how disappointed I am to hear that you are changing the prices of the pay-as-you-throw bags. I understand you have changed some of the other decisions of the recycling committee, but this is the one I want to address because of its importance. Our committee has been working for 3.5 years on this big change to Tilton. We have put numerous hours on doing research to come up with what is best to make this program work successfully for Tilton. We debated different prices for bags and came up with the decision of the whole committee to base our program on $2 and $1 per bag. This is the price we presented to the public at town meeting, and our projections were based on these prices. If you change the price to $1.50 and $1, it changes the whole program that we presented as far as what is projected to be recycled and what means to tax savings. There were no objections to the price of the bag brought up at town meeting, so why are you changing the prices? Did you do your own research and decide this price is better? If the price is lower, then there will be less recycling and more tax money needed to sustain the program as we planned. If we do not prove that it is successful, then it may well be voted out next year. We want to give hard numbers proving that it worked based on our planning. Everything I have heard since first serving on this committee is decide what you want and go with it. Don't come back next year and change it, such as bag prices. We did hear one negative comment about changing the prices of the bag next year. It is intended that we not raise the bag prices in the coming years. The prices we decided on was in line with other towns with pay-as-you-throw. The towns which charge less are benefiting from revenue from sorting, baling, and selling their recycling material, which we are not doing. The price of the bags is intended to pay for the tipping fee of the weight in the bag. It is a user fee. If you are coming up with different research than we are, then maybe you do not need our committee. You seem to be able to make your own decisions. The integrity of this program as I presented it based on the $2 and the $1 bag fees, I hope you will reconsider the price we will charge for the bags. Marjorie Bonneville, Chairman of the Recycling Committee.
So this committee is not aware that they're an advisory committee to the Board of Selectmen?
Everyone on that committee is aware of that fact.
That letter never would have been written.
Everyone of the committee is aware of that fact.
That letter never would have been written if they did, if they were.
Okay, so can we have that as a matter?
Untrue. It was written. You just heard it.
I
know for a fact that she is aware that we are an advisory committee.
I'll pass it down. Has everyone seen this note from one of our employees who is out sick?
No.
And we have a couple of driveway permits.
That's a nice letter.
And we have a note from Joyce that Catherine wants to talk about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have more than ample time, more than enough things to discuss in non-public, so we got to move on here.
I just have one little thing that somebody came in and asked me, and I told them I'd ask.
What do you want to discuss on this? Is this non-public?
It should be.
Okay.
This is all good.
The minister of the Lakes Region Church of Christ, his name is Shane Belanger. That's the church down on the corner of Route 3 and Mill Street.
And what street, I'm sorry?
Route 3 and, yep.
Yep, street?
Mill Street.
Mill Street, okay, yeah. I know what you mean.
Came in today, very nice gentleman, redundant, but it just, he just presented himself so nicely. Asked if it was possible for the church to utilize this room for public functions that would be Bible-related. And I'm trying to be very verbatim, what he asked. I told him, I didn't give my opinion, I just told him that I would bring it to the board for discussion.
I would say that's in direct contradiction to the whole separation of church and state thing. Regardless of how I might feel about religion, holding Bible services at the town hall is an endorsement of a religion, in my opinion. And I don't think that's a good way to go. I think it sets a bad precedent.
Well, we have for years allowed different groups to use town properties.
Well, that I'm unaware of.
Yeah, for years.
Hey, and if they had a picnic in the park, that's one thing, but if they're giving Bible study classes...
No, they have services. Isn't there one that does morning services in Riverfront? And there's one on the island.
Yes, I didn't realize that.
For years. The biggest thing is after he left and I sat here and I brought it up to Joyce and she said the same thing, is And it would be evening. What do you do? Give them a key and just let them walk in? I mean, we have open offices.
Yeah.
And downstairs is, the clerk's office is, anybody can jump over the counter. So it wouldn't,
Yeah.
it just, unless we want to have police and selectmen here during the event, it just doesn't seem to be practical.
Well, I'm still stuck on the first thing, so.
But I didn't, I wasn't going to tell them anything until I brought it to the board.
Nah, I'd
But I
vote
just still see the logistics of it working.
I'm still stuck on the first.
Yeah, we can bring it up.
No?
I don't know, but it has to be.
Okay, all right, got it.
So, what would you like me to tell them?
no,
I don't think it's in the best interest of the town.
no.
Because, I mean,
We've restricted political entities from using the town. Last year, remember when the Democratic Committee wanted to come in and use was it last year, the year before?
yeah.
The year before, and we said no.
Yeah, but we let the Republicans come in here to
Well, and we
the
were
downstairs.
But there was
Dennis
something,
Fields.
there was
No,
something.
no, but that
He was
was...
a candidate, and any candidate
He
we
was
would
not a
entertain.
candidate.
He was not a
He has
candidate.
his
He has a
forum.
town, he has his town hall here. He comes as a representative to the town, but the Democratic Committee was using it as a forum, and it, to me, it's just one-sided. If you had both of them here, it would be fine. If you had both entities, I could go either
I
way. It doesn't
personally
really matter.
wouldn't endorse any particular group in that manner.
No,
We already do with the other properties.
no,
I kind of
really
like
could
the
go
logistics
either way. I just-
excuse, but the best.
no.
Public coming in
Call 'em up and
and
say-
seeing a Bible,
Yeah.
We don't want any
Tons of
religious
kids.
groups at all.
No,
Well, it has nothing to do with that necessarily. It's more the logistics. So what do we have to do? Take people's time, like have policemen here, or one of the selectmen have to come to protect?
I'm not gonna sit here and listen to
Well,
that.
but that's part of it, is the fact that the town
That's facts.
hall is wide open, so
It is.
the only people we have using this place at night now are our own committees.
Committees.
And our
They're all
own
accountable.
board. Yes. But if you start letting the public in for nighttime events, that means that we either have to have one of our policemen here, or
Yep.
we have to be
It's got to
here
be policed and
to in
supervised.
order that there's security of some kind, that they're not walking off with, like maps and stuff like that. Not that they would, but
Hey,
I admire their having these meetings, and hallelujah, but
no.
no.
I will call him. Thank you.
Kent Finnemore has expressed an interest in volunteering to play at the Old Home Day at Riverfront Park. If I told him I would pass it on to you to pass it to the Parks Commission if they
What does he play?
have a band.
It's a great band.
Last year he played and we got very good feedback from it.
At the riverfront?
Yep.
I was
During
saying, I
fireworks.
must have got there after.
Just before the fireworks.
I must have got there.
So he's
No,
willing to do that this year.
I missed it.
Promised he'd practice a lot more.
Well, as long as he practices a lot more.
But I told him I'd pass it on to you so you could pass it to the band.
Old Home Day?
Yep. I have a question, but I'm not sure if this is in non-public or not. I'm going to, I will ask it in non-public. If it needs to be public, then you can tell me and when we reconvene, we'll say it in public.
Always err on the side of caution.
Yes.
I will.
We
Okay.
haven't always done that.
No, we haven't, but this, just want to be careful with it, that's all. Is there any more business to come before us? We've set aside an hour for you
I
next week,
understand that, and
right at the
everything
beginning.
that I've got working is like working, and you're aware. And next Thursday, we need to have some serious discussions about some of these things.
Should we be coming in earlier for next week? I mean,
It's
we've
gonna
got the
take a while.
consortium, and we've got the the recycling. Those are the two
And the
biggies.
co-op, maybe we
And the
need to
co-op.
discuss. We'll have some information back, hard information through Joyce, so, I mean, it might take a while.
Maybe we should start early.
Well, we
so
have the whole month of May for the co-op stuff.
Right.
We do.
We've got some time for
that be
co-op,
pushed
so we can
next
put
week?
that off for at least another,
30th for the co-op, right? So
That's correct. We
right,
have,
we've got time for that, but we need to get
9
the,
weeks, 9.5 weeks. I think that's the name of a movie, isn't it? Yeah.
I think we need to, yeah, it was a good movie, too.
Indeed.
We need to, so
Let's see
the
if Joe-
consortium, we need to make some, and we need to make the, also on the recycling, we need to move forward on that, so.
Yep.
So
Some
like
discussion
three?
of enforcement
You want to look,
and
you want to
downtime.
look at 3 or 3:30, or?
Whatever's good for you guys.
I'm fine with whatever's good for anybody. I block Thursdays out,
Three.
so.
3 works for me. How about you,
No,
Kathy?
that's fine. I just don't go home. I stay here all day, so it's fine. So I do the same thing. It's Thursday.
So
Thursday,
Catherine,
yeah,
next,
Thursday's the select.
Catherine, next week, we're going to be starting, 3 is okay with you?
Works for me.
And we'll set Joe up from 3 to
3:10.
5.
Well, no, you can put me down to 3:10, but I might run over.
Just saying.
Okay. All right, if there's no more business to come before us in a public, then I will make a motion to go into non-public session per RSA 91A:3, personnel, legal, and this question that I have
I'm
on,
messing with somebody's character.
okay, in adverse, would likely affect adversely the reputation, so C, and actually C again, so there's 4 things that were,
Second.
oh, 5, because is that what you're bringing up, C, on this,
Adversely affect,
this year?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about that. Okay.
Yes,
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
we are red, and I would like to make a motion to seal the minutes of the public, of the non-public session as they pertain to personnel permanently, and as they pertain to other matters, the assessment
Security
and
and-
legal issues, until the time that such matters are resolved.
Okay.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Okay.
Now,
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Say, I have.
Shut that off, please, and I got to say something, because I got this.
Yeah.
we are adjourned.